Donna J. Donnan presents Ask Donna, a weekly podcast on a plethora of topics and tips. Donna's podcast is split into 4 distinct sub-podcasts. The first week of the month is where Donna hosts her Ask the Bloggers podcast on such topics as overcoming bullies and bullying, tips on entrepreneurship, and protecting oneself from scams and scammers. The second week of the month is where Donna hosts her Ask the Coach podcast. A bit of this, a bit of that from her monthly Did You Know diary. The third week of the month is where Donna hosts her Ask the Homemaker podcast. Tips on everyday hints to help you take advantage of natural remedies and solutions. And the fourth week of the month is where Donna's podcast is all about her product review and a book review. Sit back and enjoy.
Hey, I'm Donna J. Jodhan, your host for the Ask Donna podcast. And we're up to the second week for the month of May. May is just simply moving along, the merry month of May. Yes, indeed. And I want to thank everybody who has taken the time, everyone who has taken the time to listen to my podcast, to provide me with feedback, your thoughts, your suggestions, your comments, because it is only through you and with you that I can continue to produce my podcasts. I want to thank my little brother Michael in Montreal. Thank you, Michael, for continuing to walk the journey with me in these podcasts. So, before I get into the swing of things for this second week of May 2024, I'm going to pique your interest a bit by telling you I have a big announcement coming up for the month of June. And I hope that everyone will be ready to welcome my announcement and to share in what I am about to, present to you. So, don't forget to keep your emails coming to me at askdonnaonblindlife@gmail.com or to donnajodhan@gmail.com. Okay, keep those emails coming. Keep on listening. Keep on reading my show notes on YouTube. And if you want a copy, an electronic copy of my show notes, please send your emails to me at askdonnaonblindlife@gmail.com or to donnajodhan@gmail.com. For week 2, we're going to be coming to you as Ask the Coach. Okay? And we're going to kick things off by sharing some questions that were sent to us, and I chose 1 or 2 at random to share with you. Here's the first question that was asked of me. The person wanted to know, or the listener wanted to know, how important is it to keep one's passport up to date? Person would like us to give them some guidelines. Okay? The most basic guideline that I would share with you is this one. Make sure that if you're traveling internationally or even domestically by plane, especially so, that your passport is always up to date and that you have this up-to-date passport at least 6 months before expiry. So here's the example. If you're traveling, say, for the month of May and your passport expires in September, make sure that you renew your passport before your travel. Because if you're traveling in May and the passport expires in September, that's it, you're traveling 4 months before the passport expires. You should try to have your passport up to date and make sure that your passport is at least 6 months before it expires. All right? So if you're planning to travel in the month of May, your passport will be safe if it expires in November. So let me just say this again. If you're traveling in the month of May and your passport is supposed to expire in November, you should be okay. But if you're traveling in the month of May and your passport is supposed to expire before November, I think it's best for you to renew your passport before your travel. Next question. Person wanted to know, how is best to care for orchids? Orchids love sunshine, and I have found, and I'm pretty successful with my orchids, put them on a windowsill where there's a lot of sun. Water them once a week. You can water them by putting about 3 ice cubes into their little pots, or just simply water them, making sure that the soil is damp. Okay? Once a week, and then put them in or on your windowsill where they can absorb as much sunshine as possible. Okay? All right. Those are the questions that I chose for this week. And let's move on. I'm going to now dip into my monthly diary. It's a bit of this and a bit of that from Donna's monthly diary, or your Donna's monthly Did You Know diary, I should say. I try to give you 10 tips so as not to make you fall asleep or to get you too bored. And we're going to start by telling you about bird songs. The smallest birds have the most interesting sounds, like wrens and hummingbirds. And the wrens in North America have the most interesting sounds and the loudest of sounds. Okay? And on the other hand, wild bald eagles, as the largest birds in North America, also have very loud songs or sounds. Songs or sounds. They are the largest birds in North America. They're very loud. However, the range of their sound is very limited. In the early summer, the hills are alive with the sounds of birds. And birds sing for many different reasons. When birds sing, it happens mainly around mating and nesting seasons. Okay? Sometimes the sounds that birds make happen in short clips, in shorter and clipped chirps. If you take a little time to listen to that, that's what you'll hear. Some sounds are usually louder and more complex. Birds sing to stake out their territory, believe it or not. Defend their turf, believe it or not. And identify themselves. They also sing to attract the opposite sex. And they encourage the female to incubate her eggs through their songs or sounds. Did you know that birds also have accents? Yeah, they do. the same cardinal in Indiana may sound very different from another cardinal in another state. Yep. And we go now to tip number 2. Here is something to help you with a fresh spring cold. It's called Vicks Vapour Rub. It comes in a jar and its scent is wonderfully strong. Rub a bit of this on your throat, on your chest, and at the bottom of your feet. Insert a wee bit of it into your nostrils, and voila! It works like a charm. I've tried it several times, and trust me when I tell you, my cold is much better the next day. Number 3. What are some of the various types of vacations? Normally, a vacation equals a holiday. That's very true. A staycation is all about spending your vacation at home. So let's step back a wee bit. A vacation is basically describing a holiday away from home. A staycation is when you spend your vacation at home. Workation is all about combining work and play. Yeah, I often go in on a lot of these for my business. Okay. Number 4. Here is an important tip about enjoying drinks for both men and women. If both men and women are enjoying drinks under the same type of conditions, please remember this. If they're enjoying the same types of drinks under the same circumstances, women will become intoxicated more quickly because of their biological makeup. On the whole, women weigh less than men. Number 5. So, which part of the lobster is the meatiest? Why, it is the tail, of course. The tail of a lobster contains most of the meat that you would find in a lobster. It has more meat than the claws and on the back of the lobster, or a lobster back. Okay? If you want to learn more about holiday spending in America, here's what I discovered. Here are the top 7 holidays along with spending trends. Okay, the top 7 holidays for extravagant spending. Halloween is number 7 with 2.6%. Number 6 is Father's Day with 4.5%. Number 5 is Easter with 6.1%. Number 4 is Mother's Day with spending of about 6.5%. 3 is Valentine's Day with spending of 7.7%. Number 2 is Thanksgiving with spending of 13.4%. And number 1 is Christmas. Yep, Christmas. With an average spending of about 59.2%. This is very interesting. Number 7. What is a good tea to drink when you are having digestive problems? Try drinking a cup of hot chamomile tea. I find this works, I really do. A cup of hot chamomile tea often does the trick for me whenever I have digestive problems, or even when I wish to have a good night's rest. I love the flavor of chamomile tea. Number 8. Here are some homegrown tips about our dogs. Normally, their noses are cold and a bit damp when you touch them. If their nose happens to be warm or maybe even hot, it means that they're having a fever. Female dogs normally have a 3-week period, or they go through a 3-week period whenever it is mating season for them. The important week to note when they are most likely to want to mate with their male counterparts is the 2nd week. If you are attempting to mate the female and the male, please note the position of the tail of the female. If their tail is down when you take them to meet the male, they're not interested in the male. If their tail is up, they are more than interested in the male. All right? So if the tail goes down, they're not interested. But if their tail goes up, they are interested. Female dogs normally take about 9 weeks to bring their pregnancy to fruition. 9 weeks. And they usually come into their so-called calling period or mating period every 6 months. Finally, if you wish to get an idea as to how many pups your female is about to give birth to, count the number of nipples that are extended. This usually tells you how many pups she is going to bring you. 1 nipple per pup. That's very interesting, eh? And like I said, the period of time or period of pregnancy for a female dog is 9 weeks. Okay? Now, here are the questions that I received to me as the coach for this past month. Brad is looking for a timer that has braille dots. Okay, yes, there are timers with braille dots. I have one. I bought it, oh my gosh, last year. So there are braille timers out there with dots for you to take advantage of. Okay. Candice is wondering if there's such a thing as a talking scale. Yes, Candice, there is such a thing as a talking scale. Again, I have one. I use it in my bathroom, and I believe there are also talking scales for the kitchen. And Beth wants to know what type of can opener could be the easiest to use as someone who is vision impaired. I like the battery operated can opener or the manual can opener. I'm not too crazy about the electric can opener. So there are 3 types of can openers that you can use. You can use your battery operated one, a manual one, and an electric one. Okay? Folks, this is it for me for this week, 2nd week of May. Please do not forget to send me your emails to askdonnaonblindlife@gmail.com or to my personal email address, donnajordan@gmail.com. And this is spelled DONNAJODHAN. All right? Keep your thoughts, your suggestions, your comments, and your feedback coming to me. Can't wait to read them. Listen to my podcasts on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple. Read my show notes on YouTube, or send me an email and I'd be more than happy to send you a copy of these show notes. Wait for my big announcement coming in June. Okay? All right. This is it for me for this week. Folks, have a great rest of the day, a great rest of the week, and enjoy the merry month of May. Take care, stay safe, and bye for now.
That's it for this week. Donna hopes that you enjoyed her podcast today. She thanks you for having taken the time to tune in and looks forward to being with you next week. Send your thoughts and feedback to Donna at askdonnaonblindlife@gmail.com.